Welcome to our Regulation Mastery session. In this session, we will continue reading the CSSF Circular 22-806 from Part 2, Requirements, in the context of ICT outsourcing arrangements. Subchapter 1.2 Requirements applicable to Support PFS, authorized under Articles 29-3, 29-5, and 29-6 LFS, and their branches abroad. 123. For the exclusive purpose of this subchapter, the following definitions apply. A. Support PFS, an in-scope entity, including its branches, that is authorized to perform OCERC activities in accordance with Article 29-3 or PSDC activities in accordance with Articles 29-5 or 29-6 LFS. B. Own ICT systems. Systems supporting the Support PFS organization and administration. They are not proposed as a service to third parties and not used by the services proposed to third parties. C. Client ICT systems. Systems that fulfill the two following cumulative conditions. I. They partially or exclusively support the activities carried out for regulated financial sector clients of the Support PFS, irrespective of whether they belong to the client, or to the Support PFS, or where they are located, and 2. The Support PFS is responsible to its client for their proper functioning. 124. Without prejudice to point 119 above, Support PFS and their branches authorized as OCERC in accordance with Article 29-3 LFS may partially outsource their ICT operator services, i.e. some management of operations services of client ICT systems, provided that the conditions of points 126 and 127 are fulfilled. 125. Without prejudice to point 119 above, Support PFS and their branches authorized as PSDC in accordance with Articles 29-5 or 29-6 LFS may partially outsource the management, operation of the ICT systems supporting partially or exclusively the dematerialization or conservation services they provide to regulated financial sector clients, provided that the conditions of points 126 and 127 are fulfilled. 126. The service provider for the outsourcing arrangements referred to in points 124 and 125 above shall be: A. In Luxembourg, solely a credit institution, or an entity that is authorized as Support PFS in accordance with Article 29-3 LFS. B. Abroad, any ICT service provider, including an entity of the group to which the Support PFS belongs. 127. The outsourcing arrangements referred to in points 124 and 125 above shall be considered as critical or important and are prohibited if they do not comply with the following. A. The service provision is complementary and does not carve out the Support PFS or its branch as relevant of its substance in line with point 7. B. Support PFS and their branches have obtained the prior approval of all their concerned regulated financial sector clients. C. If the service provider may have access to data subject to professional secrecy according to Article 41 LFS or Article 30 LPS, where applicable, the Support PFS and their branches have clearly informed and obtained the prior consent of their regulated financial sector clients. D. Each year, the Support PFS and their branches must provide the competent authority with their detailed oversight plan and exit plan ensuring compliance with sections 4.3.3 and 4.3.4 of this circular. E. Support PFS and their branches have obtained the prior approval of the competent authority for such outsourcing using the instructions, and, where available, the forms on the CSSF website. 128. Without prejudice to points 59, 60 and 119 above, Support PFS and their branches may outsource the management or operations services of their own ICT systems. A. In Luxembourg, solely to a credit institution, or an entity that is authorized as Support PFS in accordance with Article 29 to 3 LFS. B. Abroad, to any ICT service provider, including an entity of the group to which the Support PFS belongs. 129. The provision of ICT operations services on client ICT systems, or on systems supporting PSDC activities, by branches of Support PFS to their registered office, are prohibited if they do not comply with the relevant requirements listed in point 127. 130. Support PFS and their branches acting as OSERC may, for their services as ICT operators, rely on infrastructures belonging to their group, subject to the condition that the services provided by the group, or their subcontractors, if any, are limited to those requiring a physical presence on these infrastructures. The management of systems containing data and processing to be carried out by the Support PFS shall be excluded from such outsourcing. Infrastructure shall mean the IT resources that are necessary to host the systems and data under the management of the OSERC. In this case, the Support PFS shall, in particular, ensure they have permanent control over the actions taken by the group for their account. Where this outsourcing involves the presence on the infrastructure of data subject to the professional secrecy according to Article 41 LFS or Article 30 LPS, where applicable, the Support PFS shall obtain the approval of the regulated financial sector clients before outsourcing. 131. Branches of Support PFS may propose services relying on an infrastructure established in the country in which they are established, host country, to their regulated financial clients in the host country. This infrastructure may be outsourced to a local service provider, subject to the condition that the services provided by this service provider and its subcontractors, if any, are limited to those requiring a physical presence on these infrastructures, and excluding any management of systems containing data and processing to be carried out by the Support PFS or its branch. The branch shall apply the principles laid down in this circular, and the registered office in Luxembourg shall keep the appropriate oversight of the services provided by its branch. The branches shall obtain approval for this local outsourcing from their regulated financial sector clients concerned. 132. Support PFS may outsource any ICT services other than those covered by points 124 to 131 above to any ICT service provider, including a group entity providing ICT services, or a Support PFS. Such outsourcing arrangements must be set up in compliance with the requirements of point 119 above. In particular, if the service provider is not allowed to access to data subject to professional secrecy in compliance with Article 41 LFS or Article 30 LPS, where applicable, the service provider may have access to this data only if it is overseen, throughout its mission, by a person of the Support PFS in charge of ICT.